Bird hunters, I think, pound for pound, spend way more money, and you fuckers are
Oh,
gonna hit me in the
sure.
comments for sure about this shit. But bird hunters, I think, pound for pound, spend way more chasing their sport than whitetail guys do. Like, it's stupid when you see these rigs and the amount of money people spend
Well,
on a
just the
dog.
fucking dogs too, you know.
It's the upkeep, it's the training, it's on and on. It's not just the shotgun or the fucking vest that they're wearing. It's everything that goes into it, and that's an expensive.
That tradition, if you go back to anyone who's 40 years old or older, like you talk to any single one of them who's from somewhat of a rural or country area, oh man, I had quail in my backyard. We'd go out and shoot them with the BB guns and, bring them in and have quail for dinner. That's what I want to bring back.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the quail population is not helping us there. That's why most of these people are going to have to turn to people like us. And I'm glad to do it. I'd love to give people that experience of a traditional upland quail hunt here in South Florida.
Well, and you said something earlier, that they start and then 2 years later they're back with dogs and new shotguns. I'm thinking, back in the day, and I've seen it firsthand too. These people come in and they don't know anything, and they've got, they went out and they bought a shotgun, and back in the day it was a Winchester or maybe a Browning, and then 2 years later I see them and then they've got a fucking Perazzi
Beretta.
I'm talking about nice guns. Not like Berettas are fine, don't get me wrong, but some of the shit that these guys bring out and like invest in, like they just get hooked on it. There's something about, and deer hunters go crazy, right? They're rabid. If you've ever been about a bird crowd, like that's a different kind of
Oh yeah.
stupid. Like, and
Oh, yeah.
you got Phil over there that
I got some buddies.
yeah. Like bird hunting, and you've not done a bunch of it, have you?
No, not a bunch. I've done a couple times. I've actually hunted two places here. I think I can't remember the one you just said a minute ago, the Quail Hollow place, I think, or whatever.
Quail Creek. Yep.
I've done
Yeah.
that with Sumner.
You did it with Mike, yep.
Yeah,
And you hunted Williamson's. They did a bird hunt at
I've
Wes's
done
place.
it at home a couple times, but that's about it.
My thing is, especially for non-hunters, like it's not a turkey hunt, it's not a whitetail hunt. If you get somebody, and it's not a duck hunt either, if you get somebody that's kind of on the fence about hunting or not, and you start them off with a quail hunt like that, a good one, right? Or a good dove field kind of thing, they're hooked for life.
Yeah.
Like there's no selling it to
No
them
shit.
after that. They are done. Like as rabid as, these hunters get for whitetail, there's something bird hunters, I think, pound for pound, spend way more money, and you fuckers are gonna hit me in the
sure.
comments for sure about this shit. But bird hunters, I think, pound for pound, spend way more chasing their sport than whitetail guys do. Like it's stupid when you see these rigs and the amount of money people spend
Well,
on a
just the
dog.
fucking dogs too, you know.
It's the upkeep, it's the training, it's on and on. It's not just the shotgun or the fucking vest that they're wearing. It's everything that goes into it, and that's an expensive. It's an expensive, and it doesn't have to be though. That's the thing. Bird hunting doesn't have to be expensive, but these people kind of get it there. But like, I think it's one of the cheaper things that you can do to kind of get involved with hunting. And I've seen your rates online. I'm like, shit, that's a hell of a value right there. Like you can go have a great time with three of your buddies, right? Take 4 of you out there for way less than any whitetail hunt, way less than a turkey hunt, anything. And you're not going to get a shot at something. You're going to get trigger time, and watching the dogs work, like that's a cool thing. When you see those dogs work out there in the field, like you're like, oh my God, like you just get mesmerized sometimes. Especially, and quail are great too. Quail are hard. Quail are one of the hard, pheasant, chucker, shit like that, way easier to shoot. But when you get in a quail field, ooh, that gets like sideways.
It humbles you. It
does,
humbles
yeah.
you quick.
It'll show a good shooter from you get the guy that can shoot skeet a little bit, maybe do some 5-stand shit like that. I think, he's pretty decent, shooter, can hold his own. You get him out there in a quail field, and all of a sudden that guy can't shoot for shit. It's like 20 to 1 sometimes. He's sending 20 to kill one bird, and it does humble you. It does.
Wow.
And it's a different kind of hunting. I mean, people say hunting, you think, all right, we got to be quiet, we got to stay warm, we're going to go sit in a stand. Quail hunting, you can be busting your buddy's chops, you're walking, you're talking, you're seeing the dogs work, you're hopping on the buggy and driving around.
Can you drink?
After the hunt, come on now. You got a long ride back. But yeah, it's a different kind of hunting. It's so enjoyable, and it's addicting. We were training some guides a couple years ago, and I was like, guys, listen, you don't have to talk. You don't have to do nothing. As long as people are pulling the trigger at these quail, they're going to have the best time of their lives. So it's such an easy job for me. I don't do any of the work. The dogs and the birds, that's all I need. So my job's pretty easy. I just got to show up.
Yeah.
And people are
If
going
it
to love
only
it.
worked that way, really.
Uh-huh, exactly.
Well, and the one thing you hit on, and I talked about it a second ago, the exclusivity of it, and that's important. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
you get a group of us, like you, me, Oscar, Krezi, or somebody else that comes with us. It's great to have just us there, right? And it's not like having. And I've been on those bigger hunts where there's 25 people jockeying for position, and you're having hunters that are shooting in front of your you flush a quail at 10 yards and they're number 5 on the line, and
Mhm.
they're shooting at 70, across your flank kind of shit.
Your
I'm
right
like,
ear's ringing a little bit.
yeah, I'm
and-
like, son of a bitch. But when you get a few guys out there and you can go and have, and there's no stress, right? A quail hunt, a partridge, pheasant, all that. It's fun. Like, it's just, you're shooting the shit with your buddy. We're having a conversation the whole time. Like, in back and forth, you're just talking on the line as you go, and you're watching these dogs and like, oh shit. It's not like, hey, is this whitetail going to show up? That dog's telling you there's a
I've
bird
seen it.
right
It's-
there.
It's
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
That's
for
a
sure.
cool ass thing, and to see those dogs just stoic like that, man, that'll just light your shit up in a hurry. Like, I don't know about you, that gets me hard though.
Mhm.
Like, I'm popping partial wood right
I
now
know there's
just
like
thinking
Addy
about
back on the
it.
deck today.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Addy come out like, "Parker, go get it.
Mhm.
Get it.
We had this guy, every time a dog would point, he'd always just look around. Boom. That's what he'd do right there.
It's awesome, and we talked about the quail a little bit, but you're hunting chucker, pheasant, shit like that too, right?
We got both of those out there. Obviously, those aren't native, but it's something to mix it up. And those birds are where the stories come from. I've had a ton of father and son, uncles, just guys getting together, family like that, spending genuine time, and just the stories that come out of those hunts. And pheasant and chucker, I love watching those suckers fly. And Mike, y'all got those birds up north, at least pheasant. That's where I'm trying to go on some special trips to kind of get out of Florida a little bit.
Yeah, they're getting kind of scarce. Pheasants are, I don't know what it must be, coyotes or something, but they're getting scarce.
When I was a kid, we had a big partridge population where we were, but over the years, the coyotes came in. We also had coy dogs there. All of a sudden, you'd just go from, so we did whitetail drives back in the day, right? That's just kind of what we did. We'd drive whitetail, and it was nothing. You'd flush
Called the
part.
Orange Army.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Fucking Orange Army's coming.
It was nothing to flush partridge like every single time, and then as time went on, less and less and less, and now you'll go for an entire season and never see one.
So sad.
Yeah, and they're such a cool animal. I mean, and pheasants, you get those big roosters
Oh,
out
yeah,
there,
yeah.
and they're loud when they take
Pretty,
off. And
pretty.
to me, not as fun to shoot as a quail. They're just, and it's an easier kind of hunt, which I think is a good segue for hunters.
Oh yeah, I mean that's kind of how my goal in life is to get my future wife into hunting.
There you
Zach,
go.
gonna break her in right here.
Well, hey, all you gotta do is buy a dog.
She wants one, but she wants like something from the pound or something with a story.
Well, just go buy one and then take it to the pound. Say we want that one.
She doesn't have to know. Hey, I got this guy. His name's Ryan. There may be another one of them cockers sitting there right now, and I got a line on a GSP that was just born too.
I'm waiting for your dog to have puppies.
Which one? Addie?
Addie.
Oh, that's gonna be expensive.
No, I get friends and family. But it was really funny because I went actually. It's funny that you're wearing a Ducks Unlimited quarter zip on there because I went to their pheasant hunt that they have every year. A couple of years ago, a buddy invited me on there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not a bird shooter or anything like that. I don't really hunt birds on there, like other than shooting like a mallard in a ditch on that's or like a black bellied, a whistler or something like that in a ditch when I'm hog hunting.
Brown swan one.
That's about it on there. So he's like, yeah, come out and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, whatever. I feel like it'd be fun. So I went out and did the whole thing. I was like, whatever. It's for a good cause, protect the ducks on there. And I went out there and I was like, I know I was there to shoot pheasant, but I was like, these dogs are the happiest dogs I've ever seen in my whole life. I have never seen a happier, like these 20 dogs just chasing pheasants on there, chasing after the wounded ones, going around just shaking like a leaf on there in an individual stand and stuff like that. I was just like, I remember I came back and I was like, Gabby was like, what was it like? And I was like, it was great. She's like, what'd you shoot? I was like, I don't even know. I was just looking at all these dogs on there just having like the time of their life. And she's like, really? I was like, I'm telling you, you've never seen a happier dog. You've never seen a happier dog in your life to go chase after a wounded bird, and then come back and like just be like, grateful to be like, look what I did, Dad. Like, and then with this dead pheasant in their mouth, I'm just like, and she's like, oh, really? I was like, honestly, it's worth it. If they would sell tickets to just watch the dogs, I would buy tickets to it.
On the show.
On there. And she's like, oh, I feel like I could do that. And I was like, that's it.
There's your in.
I can get her to be a bird hunter.
And I equate it to, you know how you see these videos online, right? Of these people getting jacked up over a whitetail comes in and they get all nervous and shit like that. That's what the dog does. Like that dog gets
All the time.
jacked up. Like it is crazy. And it's such a beautiful thing to watch these dogs do work. And, I think I told you, that was a few months ago now. We did a pheasant hunt with Ada Williamson. And and man, it was such a good time, and I hadn't done it in a couple of years. And we went out there, and Jess Manson brought his So Jess brought his dogs out there, and he was working those dogs. It was hot and it was thick. It was such fun though. Like I'm like, son of a bit, why am I not bird hunting more? Like this is so much fun. There's zero stress, none. It's not like a whitetail hunt or a turkey hunt where you get jacked up over it, and you got to shoot and you got to do this. No, you're out there having a good time. You miss, and your buddy's gonna bust your balls, and that's what. And then he misses, and you bust his ball.
And the dog gets pissed if you miss.
And it's a different feeling as the dog owner. Like, man, I just let my dog down, right? And like, you got to have one to feel that.
Good thing
feeling.
they can't talk, huh?
Exactly.
No,
trust me, they do talk.
When I was in my stand, I had this dog, and he would look at me, and he'd be like, I'm apologizing to this dog after like when they released.
He's like, fucking awesome.
And I'm just exactly. I'm just like, I just bought this shotgun. It's a new gun. I'm trying to explain.
He's the guy that brings an 870 express pump out there for his bird hunt with no choke, and he's got low brass 8s in there. He can't.
I was like, this is junky. This is junky federal ammunition. I apologize.